Hi Cancer, welcome to your super blue moon total lunar eclipse in Leo on January 31st and the week following until February 7th. It's Raina here. And so, as many of you know, a blue moon is the second full moon in a month, and the first full moon was on the first day of the year, or some people it was on the second, I guess. And it was in your sign. So now you have this lunar eclipse in your second house of earned income. So what could this possibly mean for some Cancers? Well, if you're the type of person who has a job where you get paid like a commission, or you know, like projects or contract work where you might work for a month and then you get paid, or maybe you were working for several months and it's like you're getting this payout all at once, because full moons can bring a culmination. And actually, we're talking about here a very powerful full moon in the form of an eclipse. So sometimes there's more instability indicated for these types of energies. And there's also the added aspect of the fated part of this, where something happens that was destined to be so. It's possible that some people lose a source of income, but every time that I'm reading material about a full moon, I'm always reading about how special a time it is, and how it is a time of great fertility and probably the most powerful time. So I would like to think that this is going to have a beneficial outcome for Cancer people. So rather than look at it as, oh my God, I'm not going to have that source of income, think of it as, maybe I'm going to have an increase. Maybe I'm going to expand whatever it is that I'm doing and make it from a different area, like increase the income streams. So it's not that I'm trying to put a positive spin on it, but I'm trying to look at it as something that may be a really good thing. And so how I'm going to do this reading, Cancer, is I'm going to pull two cards for the actual eclipse. One of them is my Rider-Waite deck, which I don't use very often anymore. And the other one will be a card from the Keepers of the Light Oracle. As a matter of fact, I'm shuffling the Rider-Waite deck as we speak. And then I'm going to do a simple 3-card spread from my Morgan Greer deck. So here it goes. Oh God. This should add to your sense of well-being. But you know, that's a great card for an eclipse, because it shakes people out of their false sense of security. So I'm still very optimistic. I think it's funny that I got that card. Okay, your oracle card is Radha, Soul Flame. Isn't that beautiful artwork? Oh, I love these colors. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. Experience relationship, harmony, and healing. Okay. And then we're going to pick a simple 3-card spread. Okay, wow, interesting. Excuse me. So let's look at this for the eclipse. The Tower card is a card of, it's a catalyst for change, and just like an eclipse is. And it shakes things up. Now, all of us who have lived long enough probably remember events in our life where the tower influence prevailed, where something happened out of the blue, it seemed like, and forced us to have to cope with it. And the thing about these experiences, if you look at them in the right way, you can really feel a sense of liberation. What often happens is that when a person has fear-based thinking, they really double down in being too cautious and going through life wanting a bunch of guarantees and never sticking their neck out. And the unfortunate thing about that is that life is relatively short. When you finally get to be a certain age, you realize that. And people always say, well, what do you want me to do? Just live for the moment and never know where my next dollar is coming from. And they take the extreme position in the other direction. And that's not what I'm saying. But shaking things up isn't a bad thing. Now, this is something that's beyond your control, these eclipses. So, because you are going to have a solar eclipse in a couple of weeks. Let's see, what house would that be for you? Well, it looks like it would probably be your, maybe your 8th house? Yeah, it must be. So, anyway. In life, if you learn how to go with the flow, thinking of a cliche that actually is a very helpful one, is the best way because when you don't go with the flow, you create resistance. You're resisting what is. And eclipses are kind of like rivers that are flowing in and out, very fast churning rivers. The lunar eclipse that we're going to experience may be the water flowing away and something taken away. But whenever something's taken away, it brings with it something new. Just like with the solar eclipse, that may be a time when something is brought in, but that means something else has to leave. So it's almost like irrelevant about solar and lunar, because it still will be guaranteeing change. And that's the important thing. So I've already read this, so let me just read the description. Let me put this right here so you can see it. Radha. I think Radha is the consort of Krishna. The Hindu goddess Radha is the divine feminine counterpart and twin flame of Krishna. She is considered to represent Shakti, the divine feminine and creative spirit of the universal life force. Without the female, the male cannot be created, and for this reason, Shakti is a powerful force that is honored and cherished. Radha is completely devoted to her partner and illustrates the age-old adage, behind every powerful man is a powerful woman. She is dedicated to supporting all those who seek relationship harmony and healing. At one point, she learned what it was like to be separated from Krishna, so she can also bring great healing to those who are suffering the loss of a partner or a separation. Loving union, connection, and relationship harmony are key at this time. It's important to remember, though, that relationships won't make you whole. Only your own love can do that. You now have opportunities to find lost parts of yourself, maybe sensual aspects or the capacity to cherish yourself. The relationships around you will then begin to reflect the love you have for yourself. Increased romance, love, and opportunities to express divine harmony through love are all becoming apparent in your life. You deserve divine love, and Radha, with her Shakti presence, is here to awaken this loving connection within you now. And I just wanted to add to that. You do have Cancer, you do have Saturn now entering that 7th house of committed partnerships. So more lessons, more challenges. Challenges, I don't mean that in a bad way. Challenging you to step up in romance. I mean, in your relationship. There was something that they said in there that really spoke to me, and I want to just make sure that you caught that. They were talking about, I'm going to paraphrase it, but saying like being love. Let me see how they put it, because it's very important for Cancer to hear this. Finding lost parts of yourself. It's important to remember, though, that relationships won't make you whole. Only your own love can do that. Now, this is something that Cancers tend to do, is try to love themselves through basking in the reflection of love from somebody else. And it's an inside job, and you have to do it yourself, or else you could actually push somebody away, because they might perceive that in a more smothering sense, where they feel like you are, that you have some sense of entitlement to all of their time, all of their affection, and like you won't just accept them for who they are, or what they can give you, and think that it's not good enough. So I just wanted to bring that out, because it's possible that some of you are dealing with relationship issues that the Tower represents. Maybe it has nothing to do with that 2nd house. Maybe it has to do with Pluto and Saturn being in your 7th house more than anything. Okay. So let's look at this. We have in the past position the King of Cups. If you are a male, this could be a representation of you as a mature male, a feeling of emotional groundedness, or balance, I should say. Also, what's that word? Maturity. The King is the most powerful representation, as well as the most accomplished or mature representation of whatever element. So we're talking about the water element. We're talking about emotions and healing and things like that. So the signs are your sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This could be your father that has influenced you. This is the past position, but how far in the past, who knows? This is related to a specific matter, and I did feel like, because of the Lover's card, it might have been a romantic situation. Because we have here the King of Pentacles in the current position. So this is somebody who is a businessman, or has a very affluent, they have a lot of affluence. They could be a Capricorn. That was the first sign that came into my mind, your opposite sign. The other earth signs are Virgo and Taurus. But I see that sense of authority, which makes me think of Capricorn. Now, who are these two men? Older men. Could it be that you have been involved with somebody, and one person was more feeling, and one person is more affluent? And for some people, there's a choice that needs to be made, because the Lover's card is also about choices. But perhaps this can be a counselor, or a priest, or a pastor. who helps you find a relationship or heal to find a relationship, and maybe you're with someone who is very accomplished, and yet you're debating on whether or not to get closer to this person. The Lover's card is about becoming intimate. This is the outcome. So it sounds like some of you are getting involved. Maybe, who knows, maybe that's that Tower card rearing its head, and you're leaving a relationship with the King of Cups. I just want to say something about that. The King of Cups may be a very kind-hearted person. So ask yourself, if you are torn between two lovers, ask yourself what it is that you're so attracted to this King of Pentacles. Is it that this person is more financially stable? And do you really feel love for this person? Because the Lover's card, they show the people, they depict them naked. And that's supposed to be intimacy. And obviously, I just noticed that the guy has like a hairy butt. I don't know, that was the first time I noticed it. Maybe this will be on the thumbnail, his hairy butt. But it's obviously it's not just sexual intimacy, it's emotional intimacy. And this can also be that this is something to do with Gemini, because Gemini is connected to the Lover's card, believe it or not. Of all the signs, I would not think of Gemini being connected to it. But it is. The number 6, that the Lover's card is in the major arcana, connects to Venus, though. So it was really fascinating to learn about how numerology plays into the tarot. It really was. So it's fun to find out these intricacies. So I may not have characterized your particular scenario, but hopefully some of these cards resonate, Cancer, and I wish you all the best for the coming week. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great eclipse and what follows. Take care. Bye.